Hello y'all, welcome to daily vlog number 8. Today we're gonna unbox a Dark Sport package that they sent me and I'm really excited. And then I'm gonna try everything on. So if you're new here, welcome to Tis and Pump YouTube, y'all, where we discuss my experiences with autism, mental health, addiction recovery, and becoming a baby bodybuilder.
I'ma keep winning. I'ma keep winning. I'ma keep winning. You can try to save yourself, but you only gon' play yourself. You can try to save yourself, but you only gon' play yourself. You can try to save yourself, but you only gon' play yourself. You can try to save yourself.
I started doing daily vlogs like a week ago because I want to figure out how to buy my mom a house. And if you guys don't know, if you're new here, my mom lives in Ecuador and I want to figure out how to make money and move her back here. So, okay, so shout out to you, Andrew from Dark Sport. I freaking love you. This man is always giving me a bunch of free clothes. We got this today. I was on my way home from feeding the birds, as I do, and because I'm the Canadian Snow White, and I got a call from Canada Post. They rang my door and they were like, hey, we're here. And I was like, bestie. He's like, I'm gonna be in the neighborhood for 5 minutes. And I was like, I'm 8 minutes away. I'll be there in 5. It was the first time that I sped in my life on the highway. I was going 123. Anyway, and we got it. And usually Canada Post is horrendous, but I'm excited as fuck and I'll explain why. So sensory issues are a big problem for me, especially with clothing. And that's what I like about Dark Sport. A lot of their stuff is 100% cotton. The biggest thing that I'm excited about in this order, I think, are the bodysuits, like the singlets, the onesies. And I have 2 of them already, but they're size medium, and I got them when I was in like the height of my cut, so they don't fit anymore. And they're the one thing that I can put on that doesn't upset me, especially with bras and stuff. Bras, like, I get so uncomfortable. So I got 2 in a size large. And I'm really excited, and we're gonna open it together. And Porca says hi. Let's try not to cut the clothing. I'm so excited, you guys. He was like, yeah, just choose 6 items. I was like, okay, bestie, I will. Okay, so we have 1. That sweater I'm so excited about. I'm wearing it today. 2. 3, I don't even know what to wear today. 4, 5. Ooh, I think we're missing something. Are we? Oh no. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, I'm stupid. I'm silly goose. Okay, so also, I'm just freaking out because this is like probably my favorite order. So we're gonna start with some seamless shorts. And I got these in a size large. I haven't really been wearing the seamless shorts recently because all the ones that I have right now are a size medium. And I'm a little bigger. So these are so flattering. They have like the little butt scrunch in the back. And they are the, let's see. I think these are the Everson. Yeah, the dual Everson Huckley seamless shorts in black serpent. And girl, when I tell you these snatch you in the most meaningful way, I have like these, but in legging, like Everson leggings. And literally I wore them to a bathroom, like not to a bathroom, but I wore them out like a month ago or something. And someone was like, do you have a BBL? Literally, someone was like, do you have a BBL? And I was like, no, bestie, thank you though. But the thing is that like I have other seamless like leggings and shorts. And you know how like you have to pull the shorts into your asshole? Yeah, like the leggings, at least, like you don't even have to do anything. Like if you do, it's like extra butt. But like, yeah, anyway, I'm just really excited because I wear black a lot. I don't really have any in a size large, and like these are so sweet. Okay, moving on to one of the things I'm most excited about, and that is the Flame Shea Energy bodysuit. So I got 2 bodysuits, and this one is in midnight blue. Like, girl. Okay, so we have, I'm freaking out. Okay, so here's a little Wolves thing there, and then there's a little Wolves logo right on the back, and then there's pink flames on the side, bitch, and then we have some writing on the side as well. And this is in a size large. And they're so comfortable, it's disgusting. And then they also have the butt scrunch in the back, which, oh, it's just like, it's giving ass in the most meaningful fashion. Now this is probably what I'm going to be wearing to the gym today. It's like the same kind of singlet, but in black. And she is the Riders of the Storm Shea Energy Bodysuit in large in a black. And then we have, the logo is different on this one. So it's like more like Old English font. Right on the front, it's got like 2 straps. Back same, butt scrunch. And then we have a big wolf right on the side there. If you can see. Yeah, I'm just freaking out because I've been wanting, as I said, those bodysuits are like my favorite thing in the world. So like the fact that I actually can wear them again because they have stuff that fits is like game changing. Like you guys don't even understand. I'm such a fucking weirdo when it comes to fucking clothing on my body. This I'm really excited about. My client Carrie has this and I was like, I need it. And when I first ordered a dark sport jacket, I was like, they sent me one and I was like, there's no way like this is gonna be warm. Bitch, I wear this in the winter. Like it's such good quality. And like the thing is like, I've had a clothing company. You guys don't understand how much it actually costs to make pieces like this. And like, I don't know if this one has it specifically, but on the zipper of the coat that I have, it's literally a zipper that has the logo on it that's like engraved in it. Like, and a lot of these pieces also have embroidery and huge embroidery pieces. And they have multiple print pieces on, like, you guys don't understand how expensive that shit is to create. So anyway, I'm just freaking out for this one. Okay, so this is the 6 of 500. That's so cool whenever it's a low number like that. Okay, so this is the Sacred Callaway jacket and it's an extra large. I'm freaking out about this. It's so heavy. Like their stuff is good quality as fuck. It's crazy. So here it is. It's denim. And then we have some like detailing on the hood. And then an embroidered wolves logo there. And then an embroidered tagline there. And then on the sleeve, there's a screen printed wolf as well. And then that's it. Like, oh, and you know what's cool is there's a little hook on the, like a little loop on the back so you can like hook it onto things. Oh my God. And the lining, dude, I'm just freaking out. I'm really fucking excited for this. Then we have a sweater that I've been wanting for months and I finally got it and it's in a double XL. And it's in black. Almost everything I got today was black. LMFAO. I have a black sweater exactly like this and it's my dark sport sweater. It's from the I Am the Storm collection and I wear it almost every single day. It's kind of disgusting. This is a double XL. The feeling of this is just like unparalleled. Okay, so this is cool. It's a little bit, I think, of a shorter one. It's a shorter sweater. It's like a box cut, I think they call it. So we've got a screen printed wolves logo on the front. And then I don't think this is screen printed. Maybe it's vinyl. I don't know. And then we have another big logo right here on the sleeve. And then this is cool. Not a lot of sweaters have this, but it's like a little button here at the top. So this is the third one. Or no, sorry. It's not the third one. I don't know, dude. That's the 5th piece. And then this is the 6th piece. And this is the one that I've been really excited about. And it's like a bodybuilding save my life sweater. This is in black, and I think it's also double XL. Let's see. Oh God, I love these sweaters, dude. I'm freaking out. It's a double XL black, and it's big bodybuilding save my life Pierce hoodie. Okay, so here it is. This is so cool. The graphics on it are cool as fuck. So we have this on the front, and it says, "Sacrifice to win from the will within, bodybuilding save my life, Dark Sport Big Wolves Club." And then on the back, it says that sacrifice to win from the will within, and it's got like some, I think, praying hands on it. I'm freaking out. Like, dude, you don't understand. Like, who am I to be getting free dark sport orders? I don't know. But we're gonna try all these on right now. And I'm fluffy right now, but it's okay. Like, that's just how I look, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I'm gonna try this on, and I'm freaking out because I get to wear this to the gym, and I haven't been wearing as much dark sport to the gym because I haven't had stuff that fits me. But bestie, you know I'm gonna be wearing this singlet every fucking day now, bitch. And I'm excited. Okay, I'm gonna take all the tags off, and then we're gonna try it on. I'll see you in a second. Okay, so this is the first bodysuit. Like, she is serving glutes in a very meaningful fashion. We do a little lat spread moment. I don't know how I'm supposed to wear the black today because I want, like, my plan was to wear the black, but she's just so good. Like, who is she? And honestly, the flame detailing in the pink on the midnight blue, like, get out of here. What are you serious? Like, it's just, and it's like, I'm snatched. You can't tell me I'm not snatched in this. Like, she's strong, a strong girl. Okay, I'm gonna put on the other bodysuit. 1 second. Okay, here she is. I'm gonna have such a hard time wearing anything but these singlets. Like, I don't know how I'm supposed to wear anything other than this in the next 17 years. I don't know. Like, look at her. Look at her. And we have the big wolf here. Like, I'm snatched. I don't look like this. Like, are you serious? I don't know. I'm just like, it's just, I don't know. It seems stupid because I'm just really emotional, but like, you guys don't understand, and maybe some of you do, but like, you guys don't really understand how big of an issue clothing is for me. So when I'm able to find something that, like, not just I'm comfortable in and not just something that looks good, but like something that doesn't overstimulate me and like makes me feel like I can like move in it successfully because I spend so much time at the gym, is just like, I don't know, it's a big fucking deal. Like, it's a huge win. Okay, I'm gonna show you the 2 hoodies. 1 sec. And ooh, it's like, there's just so much stuff. Like, how? Okay, I need to calm down. There's no way I can take a rest day this week. I'm gonna have to do 2 days because I have to just wear all these outfits. Okay, so here is the, I think it's like the Callaway jacket. Like, shut up. Like, shut up. And it's so warm. Like, oh my god, dude. And then we have a little hood. I love the detailing on the hood. Like, are you serious? Okay. And like, oh, just, and a pocket moment. Like, we have pockets. This is the jacket. Slay. Dude, like, already, this is just, it's so funny because like, I have clothing that's like safe clothing. Like, clothing that I put on when I'm super overstimulated that makes me feel comfortable. And I know that this is going to be one of those sweaters and I'm just excited as fuck. Like, I just can't even deal with it. I can't deal with this level of excitement. And this is a little bit more like the box one. I think they're a little bit shorter by a couple of inches. But here she is in all her glory. She's so fucking comfortable. Like, I'm so lucky, dude. Like, how is this my life? How do I get free dark sport clothing? It's just mind-blowing. Anyway, this is probably the comfiest thing that I've ever gotten from dark sport. And I'm just obsessed, and I'm going to rot in it for centuries to come. I don't know, yeah. It's just like, let's see. Check it out, dude. It's just the vibe. It's very sweet. I'm trying to like calm down and not like stim too much because I'm so I'm so excited and so happy. It's so rare for me to find clothes that I feel comfortable in and that don't overstimulate me. Like, it's a big deal. Anyway, I'm gonna shut the fuck up. We're gonna try on the last sweater and the shorts. Okay, so I know how I said that I was gonna wear the singlet today, but I don't know how on God's green earth I'm supposed to not wear these. Like, sorry, can we just a moment appreciation for the glutes? Like, what? I'm trying really hard to suppress it, but I'm freaking out right now. This is quite possibly, either this or the last one is probably my favorite dark sport sweater, but like, she's snatched. Miss Girl, like, bitch, be fucking for real. I'm so overwhelmed and so overstimulated, but it's not because of my clothing. And like, usually the clothing like really exacerbates things. But I just feel comfortable and like happy right now. And like, I love the little button because there isn't all this like, it's just a big deal. Like, if you're like neurodivergent, like autistic or ADHD, and you struggle to wear clothes that are comfortable, you know what a big deal it is to like have clothes that you feel really good in, that feel comfortable on your body. Because like, when you have other things that are overstimulating you, it's not something that like exacerbates things. It's something that you feel safe in, and like, I feel safe in this clothing, which is, it says a lot. I highly doubt that he'll ever see this, But Andrew, this is to you. Thank you so much. You've been sending me clothing for like 6 months, and you're the reason why I look so fucking cool all the time at the gym. And I just really want to thank you because it's very kind of you, and also like it's, as I said, like if you saw earlier in this video, it's really hard for me to find clothing that I feel like safe in, and that doesn't overstimulate me and upsets me. And like when I have something that's upsetting me clothing wise, it sounds so stupid, but if you don't know anything about autism, like it can lead to a shutdown, and it's like I can't do anything, and I feel like sometimes it's I literally, just to put it into perspective, I literally had a moment a few weeks ago where I was driving to pick up my friend, and the pants that I was wearing were overstimulating me and upsetting me so much that I cried. Like that I was crying, and I felt like actually killing myself. And I called my mom to just like calm me down, because that's how upsetting the pants were. Like imagine a piece of clothing upsetting you so much that you literally just want to kill yourself. That's saying a lot. Like that's how big of a fucking deal it is for me to find clothing that doesn't overstimulate me and upset me. So a big shout out to you, Andrew. Thank you, Andrew. Thank you, Dark Sport, for this gifted order. And that's it. That's the vlog, I guess, baby girl. This is day 8, day 7. Anyway, if you could like, comment, and subscribe. If you don't want to, that's fine. If you hated this video, let me know, or send it to someone that you also hate, because like, well, let's make them suffer, you know what I mean? And yeah, thank you guys. If you got to the end of this, I don't know what to say. Thank you for watching this. And also, if you fuck with clothing and you literally like are a gym girly and you want something that's not going to be like super overstimulating, and especially if you like 100% cotton stuff, like their sweaters, shirts, stuff like that, like 100% cotton, buy Dark Sport, bitch. I don't know what to tell you. Like, anyway, that's it. YouTube done, girl. Slay.